Okay, this video is for a subscriber, Mark Smith. He was asking me how I got this P42 locomotive chassis to work for the Island Model Works Broad Street cars. So I'm going to explain how I did it. It's pretty simple, but there's a few fabrication things you have to do to get it to operate smoothly. These are both chassis opened up. Obviously, there's a difference in quality as far as motor and pulling power. The Athearn was, built as a real locomotive from a company, and then that's just a mechanism you put into basically a plastic frame to make it move. And there's a lot of chatter, there's a lot of noise, a lot of that just doesn't run smoothly, but that's the way that they say to do it. So I didn't like the way it moved. I switched to that. This also has no pulling power at all because there's no weight. This thing is super light, where this, it's really heavy. So that didn't even pull one extra car behind it. So I knew I had to get an alternative. And I did some research, and if you look, they're pretty close to the same size. So that's why I knew the P42 was probably my best option to start. And it wound up working in my favor once I did a little bit of fabrication. I'm going to get the simple changes out first starting with the wheels. The wheels, these 28-inch wheels, were from the original Bowser mechanism right here that I ordered online. The thing that worked in my favor was the gears for the inside of the diameter of the gears for the Bowser were the exact same for the Athearn gears. So all I did was, they pop right out. You just pop them out and then pop them in, use a track gauge to make sure that they're the right width and stuff like that. And it will work smoothly. It obviously rides a little lower to the ground, like this part over here inside, but it doesn't affect anything as long as you got your nails or whatever you're using to put your track down pretty low. It doesn't affect it. But it actually, doing them wheels actually dropped the way I did the couplers, which we'll get to the right height. As you can see, it put it pretty good. So things started to fall in place to my favor. I guess I just got lucky, but I'll explain how I did the actual frame to get it to fit, because the frame was a little bit too long. I think it was like maybe almost a 1/4 inch too long, so I had to get a grinder with a metal cut wheel to cut some of the frame away. I think I did the back, a little bit off the back and a little bit off the front to keep it centered. So as far as fabrication with the frame, I pretty much used a grinder with a metal cut wheel, and I cut a little bit off of the front, keeping the same exact amount to the back because I wanted to keep it as centered as possible. And I pretty much just cut each end until the it fit in there lengthwise. And then the width, the Athearn P42s have these little I don't know what you call them, they're like it goes inside the actual shell that comes on here. It like snaps in. I grinded them flat so they didn't make the shell, the new shell, protrude out and distort it. But these are rubber pieces that I put on. There's one strip across the back, there's one here, and there's one, well, I stacked I think like 4 or 5 of them in this gap up here to pretty much isolate the new shell off of the chassis, because if anybody knows Athearn's shells, the vibration makes a lot of noise from the motor vibrating the frame onto the plastic shell. It vibrates a lot, so that actually quieted it down. It like insulates it. That's pretty much all I did, and then I just added the little details like the headlights that came with the kit. I put on the here, the little, I guess these are brakes, or I know that's the third rail pickup with the brakes. I just put them on. It's pretty much, you got to figure some of it out on your own. Just use your head, but the couplers are just glued on. I didn't drill them and screw them in yet, but I will eventually. I just want to make sure that everything is in place, and I just upgraded the motor with new axles and worm gears to make it pretty much brand new, and it runs pretty smoothly. I do not recommend that because I don't know, maybe for like a single car trolley or something like that, or streetcar, it'll work, but it's still noisy, but it absolutely has no pulling power at all. So that's useless if you want to run the prototypical, 5-car subway. It's not even close. The wheels just spin, it goes nowhere, and it's very noisy. That's pretty much all I did. So, I mean, if you have any other questions, just hit me up in the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks. Oh, one other thing. I wanted to show you what I was talking about the noise, the difference. So I'm going to run this Bowser mechanism on the chassis that was given to me with the model kit, and I want you to hear it. So, listen to this. So that's that. Hear how noisy that was? It sounds like gears just grinding. Now this is mine. After I was all said and done. Let me put it on the tracks. Hold on 1 second. Alright, then this is the P42. It's a lot different. There's no comparison. And then I'll show you with the shell on. I'm going to put it on. I'll be right back. It's complete. This is how it runs. So you can, see there's an obvious difference in quality. And that's it. Thanks again for watching. Like I said, any questions, just hit me up down below.